Hello everybody, welcome to Us Rusty Bucket. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already and drop a like on this video. It only takes 1 second and makes a massive difference in how this video performs in the YouTube algorithm. Man, I don't even know where to begin. Yeah, that was quite easily one of the best playoff games I have ever watched in my entire life. This series is going to go down as one of the best playoff series that has ever been played. And we have a Game 7 in Boston after this one, which of course came as a shock off of the last second tip in from Derrick White off of the Marcus Smart miss after Jimmy got fouled by Al Horford, and it was ruled that he actually attempted a three-pointer, which meant that Miami would be going up one, presuming Jimmy hit those free throws. I was quite confident the game was over from there because I knew Jimmy was going to hit the free throws, which he did, but I really also was quite confident that Boston was going to flub that last possession, which all things considered they somewhat did, but Miami of course made the mistake of not putting a body on someone after the shot goes up. You'd think the little amount of time left you wouldn't have to worry about it all that much, but there was a small sliver in there, especially given that Marcus Smart did the right thing, which was he shot the ball immediately. And now, man, we have a Game 7. I'm still somewhat in shock by this. I decided I was going to record my reaction immediately rather than waiting till the morning, which will probably ruin my sleep schedule, but it is what it is. But this was genuinely one of the best playoff games I have ever watched, for a large majority of it, of course, from Miami. Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, more so Jimmy Butler in this case, were just complete no-shows. And that was especially bad given that Miami was in this game, at least within striking distance, for pretty much the entirety of this game. And that was because their bench unit was bringing a lot of contributions. Duncan Robinson was doing a good amount of stuff. I don't even know if it was necessarily the bench unit. Caleb Martin had an electric first quarter, and I think just a great game overall. Yeah, he finished with 21 and 15. Gabe Vincent had 15 points. He's been so pivotal for them. Kyle Lowry had some good contributions as well. Outside of Jimmy struggling, they were able to find ways to score the ball, but Jimmy ended up shooting 5 for 21 and Bam 4 for 16. But Jimmy hit a huge three-pointer, got fouled on a three late, and had another time going to the free throw line where he basically got 8 straight points in like the last 4 minutes of this game. Rather significant points, obviously. Boston had a double-digit lead with like 4-ish, maybe 5 minutes remaining in this game, and it really felt like that was probably going to be it. But Miami fought their way back, and because they fought their way back, it then felt like that was going to be it. I was like, all right, series is done. Miami's going to close this one out. They have all the momentum. You could feel the power of the crowd behind them as they were closing it out. Jimmy also got a pivotal and one. I forgot to mention that. That was another big play. And then the Derrick White tip-in. I keep arriving to it because, I mean, it feels like collectively every NBA fan had their jaw on the floor. I mean, Jesus Christ. I don't know what else to say. Like, that shot is iconic instantly, especially if Boston does win Game 7 in Miami, which feels, or in Boston, Game 7, Boston in Boston. Sorry, I don't know why I flipped that in my head. Assuming that they do win that game, which I feel is pretty strongly the case, this is probably going to be a playoff series that will have like a documentary made about it, because like, damn, so many highs and lows, so many significant moments. I mean, this is what sports is about. This is what basketball is about. It's just a fucking amazing and ridiculous story being played out in a way that's like, man, the script writers are going crazy this postseason. I think that's safe to say. Incredibly interesting stuff. As for what Boston did so successfully, I mean, we got to give them credit for how well they've defended Jimmy in the last 3 games of this series. I mean, he's just had nothing going easy for him. I feel like he got rejected by Tatum a few times. I know he got blocked by Derrick White. Al Horford got a nasty block on Bam Adebayo. Overall, Boston's defense was pretty phenomenal for a majority of this game. Meanwhile, offensively, once again, they got a big game from Marcus Smart, who was also pivotal in Game 5. So bringing a lot of contributions. Again, another 20-point night. He had some big shots in terms of like moments where it felt like Miami was going to turn the momentum, and then Marcus Smart would hit a shot that would really quiet them down. Robert Williams only had 1 block in 17 minutes, but you could really feel the effect he had in terms of the team being scared to get into the paint. Like, he was genuinely terrifying to them multiple times and altered a lot of shots. But outside of Robert Williams, didn't get much contribution from the bench. Grant Williams played 22 minutes and scored 1 point and missed 4 shots. But overall for their starters, Jaylen Brown almost played 40 minutes, and Jason, Derrick White, and Marcus Smart all played 40 plus minutes, including Jason Tatum playing 44 minutes. So he's played this game all but 4 minutes. And I have to say, for Jason, I am going to drop this superstar thing with him. He definitely is a superstar. One who plays like shit sometimes in a way that's drastically annoying to me, obviously, as I've harped on it so much. But at the end of the day, the way that he's been playing, you don't do that if you don't have superstar level talent. So I retract that take, not going to stand by it anymore as much as I did fight to get to this point. But he had 31 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. He didn't have the best efficiency, and he didn't really score the ball much in the second half of the game, but his defense was really felt for a lot of stretches here, especially on Jimmy Butler. I think I talked about that. I felt like they needed to put more size on him, just because earlier on in the series when he had that first game, especially where he had 35 points on all mid-range shots, it was just him shooting over Derrick White. And I was like, if you put a bigger body on him, some more muscle, not to say that Derrick White didn't play good defense when he was on Jimmy, because he did. Everybody just locked down in this one for Boss. And again, I can't stress enough that Al Horford block on Bam Adebayo, one of the best blocks I think I've ever seen. Definitely up there and potentially a very iconic play. I guess we'll have to see how it plays out through history. But yeah, other than that, as for what happens in Game 7, I will say Miami did show enough fight in the last half of this fourth quarter. Jimmy came back alive, of course. With all that happening, I do feel a little bit better about Miami's chance to win Game 7. I will say that much. Because if they were going to lose by double digits, as it felt like it was going to by that midway point of the fourth quarter, I just don't think there's any damn way they would have had any level of momentum for them in that Game 7. But I think Game 7 should be a classic as well. Regardless of which result it ends up happening, it's going to be a series that's going to be remembered forever. And I would say as basketball fans, we're quite lucky. And in a way, I'm pretty happy this is the result, because it would have been pretty disappointing if both conference finals ended up being sweeps. That just would have been an L. And just for this postseason at large, man, I just can't help but be appreciative. This has been one of the best postseasons of all time, as far as I'm concerned. It's just good hoops all the time. There have been so many excellent basketball games in these playoffs, so many excellent performances, so many interesting stories, and yeah, I'm just enjoying it. Sorry if I don't have much in the way of commentary or actual analysis. I'm just blown away by this game. I'm just blown away by how excellent basketball can be at times. So I hope you'll forgive me. That is it. Shout out to Rudy for editing this video, and goodbye.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy. You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.